What is going on, guys? Kind of Phil here with my Walking Dead review, episode 10 home. Always be reminded that there will be spoilers in this, and you should probably walk away if you have not seen the episode yet, or previous episodes, or up to date with the comic book. So yeah, there's your reminder. You should leave. If you see me look, also spoilers. Second time. If you're not caught up to anything, don't watch this. Comic book spoilers are a little bit weak at the moment because there isn't much going on in TV series with comic books. So, if comic books, you really don't have to worry about that much until probably later in the season. So let's get right into it. I have this on top of my PC right now, so my screen's right here. So I'll be looking this way a lot, but I'll try to look in the camera as much as possible. But the first scene, it starts off. Rick's hallucinating again after his little aftermath with Tyrese and the ghost. There was funny gifs on the internet of it being T-Dog and pretty funny stuff, but Rick's hallucinating still. He runs to the tombs to meet her, and it's Lori in her wedding dress. They start making out, and Michonne sees this because she's at the bus for some reason. I don't think it was explained, but Michonne sees the wackiness more else than anybody. But that's probably how they'll bond and everything, because we know she has the pet walkers and they've not been explained. They should be explained sooner or later, but what are you gonna do? Next, Woodbury, you see Andrea in her apartment. Of course, another Andrea is here, cringe-worthy. Governor pretty much reassures that Andrea should lead the people at the moment. What she says, she does ask about the prison though, and he says to her that he will not disturb the prison if they don't disturb Woodbury again. And Andrea wants to go see the prison, but Governor changed the subject to her kind of taking over for the people while he steps back because he doesn't feel he's the leader at the moment. And then you see Daryl Morrow, and they pretty much this scene, you just see Daryl convince Merle to go to the prison. Tries to convince, but Merle, only reason he stated that he wouldn't go is because they wouldn't want him there. So I think he would go, but they don't want him there in that. And he pretty much says they're all dead because the governor wants to kill him. So Merle has a thought in the head that nobody's gonna live this. Back at the prison, while Rick's pretty much not the leader at this time. He's hallucinating. They saw what happened, so Glenn takes over. Do I feel he's suited for leadership? No, I think he's filled with revenge. And he's not gonna make the choices for the people, but for him. You can't have this. You see the milk. Move it because I don't want to knock it over. But you see him take over. He wants to go back to Woodbury and kill the governor. Michonne agrees with him. Really, Gallon just pressures her to do it. So, why not? She says yes because the governor took her best friend, pretty much, and tried to kill him. Blink. The rest of the group just disagrees. Rick's not in this. No, he's not. He's not part of this discussion. Because if he was, this is how it's ironic. If he was there, there would be no vote. But since it's Glenn, there's a vote. And most of them decided they got to leave the prison, and the prison is not the safe place. After losing people in the prison, Glenn and Maggie taken, they decide this is not the place we want to be. They decide that, but Glenn wants them to stay. He says they can't leave because they have a crying baby, Judith, and a man without a leg, Herschel. Glenn and Carl go secure the cells, which pretty much what they call the tombs. They got like so many different tombs, like graves. I'm gonna call them graves, but the inside of the prison they haven't explored. They pretty much secure it. Glenn and Carl. So yeah, you're seeing him pretty much move forward without Rick, especially Carl, which is kind of a, he's learning. You can't really depend on Rick that moment, so you're seeing them progress Carl to not listening, not being under Rick's watch, and he's making his own decisions at this point. Back at Woodbury, Governor starts telling Milton how he's all, he's important and valuable to Woodbury, and asks if Milton said if he's just gonna leave, and he says no. Milton's loyal. I believe he will be loyal until something bad happens. And then he asks Milton to pretty much spy / look over Andrea, because he does not believe he doesn't know where loyalties lie. So he's very paranoid at this point, which is not a bad thing. Seeing that she found that their friends are still alive. And Andrea, she goes to the gate because she wants to leave for the prison, and she asks where Martinez is, basically the right-hand man of Woodbury now. Seeing that Merle's gone, he's going to be a big factor in the season. And then Andrea asks Milton where the governor is. He doesn't know. So something's pretty fishy at this point. Back at the prison, Glenn and Carl return. Herschel's still forcing the argument that they should leave the prison. Glenn says no. The group agrees, so they still have this mentality of dictatorship. Axel is kind of standing up after this. He wants to go with Glenn to explore the hidden side of the prison and find where the walkers enter. So Axel's trying to step up, I guess. I don't know what's that scene, but Glenn asking Axel, let's go tell the woman to pick up supplies because he will talk to Maggie. Maggie punches him because Glenn asked if she was raped. She said no, and it was just a whole spat. And Glenn gets punched again. He's already bruised up enough. But yeah, they kind of, how do I explain this? Kind of foreshadowed it, I guess, in interviews, and I don't want to say foreshadow really, but hinted. There you go. Hinted's the word. They kind of hinted that Maggie and Glenn are going to be going through some issues. I think this will be the start of it. Will be the end of it. I doubt it. I think more will be to come. But outside the prison, Carol and Axel are guarding the bridges in the prison. Axel starts telling his story that he was in jail for armed robbery, and he pretty much assaulted a liquor store with a water gun. So basically he wasn't in there for bad intentions, he just wanted money, and he got screwed over because his brother had a real gun in his house, and that's why he's in prison. So you learn about why Axel's in the prison. I think he's the only one you learn about why he was in prison. He kind of got screwed over. And this is just a scene between Carol and Axel, maybe some love interest. Then you go to Merle and Daryl. So there's Woodbury, there is the prison, and then there's Daryl and Merle. So you got 3 stories this episode. There's a lot of fit in this episode. But they end up seeing a Mexican / a Spanish family, I should say. They have a crying baby, and that's what attracted them. So they thought maybe it would have been the prison group, but it wasn't. It was a Spanish family who was having trouble fighting off walkers, and pretty much they clear the walkers. Daryl, being the new Daryl, doing the "you're right," and Merle begins to pretty much rob them. And this is where you see the new Daryl. The Daryl stands up to Merle and says, "Merle, no, you're not robbing this car." and they let the family go. So this was so far probably the second important scene is Daryl stepped up finally to Merle. Will it continue to happen? Yes, because there's more in the episode, of course. It's not the ending; it'll be a terrible ending. But they walk back in the woods, Merle and Mevspat, and you find out they had a plan of taking over the camp. Him and Merle were going to steal the camp, pretty much. And then they just have, an argument. Daryl says, "Why'd you abandon me as a child?" And Merle pretty much blames him for losing his hand and everything. I'm just reading this, trying to explain it the best way. So if I see pauses, but Merle attacks Daryl, and you find out Daryl has a lot of scars on his back, which we can pretty much speculate is from abuse from father/mother. I don't know. I think it might probably his dad. And then Merle said he didn't know about the scars, and Daryl says he did. And, brother fight, and basically the scene where Daryl's done with Merle. This is the whole thing. Daryl leaves Merle and gives Merle an ultimatum: you stay alone or you come with me to the prison. And this is the shifting of the whole brother aspect. Is now Daryl is in charge of Merle. Merle is no longer a threat to Daryl. Daryl is no longer afraid of Merle. Now it's Merle's afraid of Daryl. The team prison, as you like to call it, has taken over Daryl, and now Daryl is a new man that Merle has never seen. So he follows him, and they're on their way back to the prison. No riots, because Daryl's not dying. Back at the prison, Herschel pretty much talks to Glenn, because Glenn has decided he will go to Woodbury. He's going to go at night, I think, or before night. And Herschel's question is decision making, and he's like, you got to protect Maggie, you got to protect the group, and Glenn pretty much hands leadership over to Herschel and Glenn leaves. Herschel sees Rick walking around just outside the gates, probably in the loop. Herschel saw it happen. I'm pretty sure Herschel was the first person to understand what's happening, and my phone's going off. I gotta check it, but what is it? I'm trying to distractions, but Beth hands the baby over to Maggie. I don't know anything important. I'm just describing everything that's happened in this episode, so you get a good feel of what it was about, my thoughts. Herschel calls for Rick. Rick doesn't hear him, but he finally sees Herschel. This is a very I don't know, I can't think of a word, but it's a step forward for Rick, pretty much, you could say. Herschel tells Rick that they need him to be the leader, and that Glenn is at war and cannot be the leader. But Rick plies back saying, "You're the leader." I think we can all agree Herschel would make a good leader, because he's thinking about the best interest for the group. He is the Dale pretty much now. He's the humane guy. He's the one, the morals, everything. And the big part of this little conversation is Herschel asks Rick what he's doing, and Rick says he's been seeing Laurie and Shane. He's been hallucinating. And Herschel pretty much says that is only the manifestation of his fault, and that he needs to be blessed because the group needed him. Rick refuses, and Michonne is still at the bus for some reason. It's not been explained. I think pretty much what Herschel said to him was like, they're just, I don't know how to explain it. Herschel's a smart guy. He's smarter than me, the character, I guess. But basically just saying, I think, I gotta read it just to understand it, because he just pretty much, what his hallucinations are basically him trying to say it's his fault for Shane and Laurie's death. Which, it's arguable, but it could, both sides, is it his fault or is it not his fault? I don't know, I don't really, it's not up to me. But personally, I don't think it was Rick's fault. Shane was gonna kill him. Laurie pretty much gave up on Rick day one, so not really his fault. Still, Michonne's at the bus, no explanation. Outside back in the yard, you see Axel and Carol again flirting. Basically, the Daryl's gone, Carol's moved on. She moves fast. She lost her kid, her husband, and now she wanted Daryl. Daryl's gone, now it's Axel. And sadly, Axel dies. He gets shot in the head. The governor and his men are attacking the prison. Glenn is gone. Daryl and Merle are not there. I should say Daryl. Rick's hallucinating. Everybody's outside pretty much at the wrong time. Just terrible time. Terrible time for him. Glenn's about to leave Woodbury. Daryl and Merle are on the way back. Are they going to make it in time? Who knows? Herschel and Rick are outside. And Martinez has immobilized Rick outside. Herschel is hiding in bushes. Trying not to get shot, of course. Carol. I always want to call Carl Carol. Carl and Beth are hiding behind the bleachers at the basketball court. Michonne in love with the bus for some reason. I don't know why she's at that bus, but she's hiding by the bus. And Axel's body's been using as meat shield for Carol. Sadly, they're straight firing. They don't give a shit what's happening. The governor and his men are just shooting open fire and hope for the best. One of the guys from the Woodbury took over the prison tower. A good vantage point for looking over that area. Michonne is firing at the governor. Carl is trying to cover Carol, who's still hidden under the meat shield of Axel. And then everything stops. All the firing shots stop. Maggie comes with with weapons for Beth and Carl. Rick is still outside after hallucinating, trying to fight Martinez. Sorry if I keep, like I said, explaining, I keep looking back and forth. Maggie, Beth, and Carl cover Carol. She finally gets there. She gets a weapon. And then, before Woodbury, they crashed a bus into the fence. The first fence, the one that, not the secondary fence with the gate. Well, the one with the gates that they opened to leave is now full of walkers. They did a good. I'm not gonna lie, but that was smart to put walkers in there instead of wasting ammo. Put walkers in a big, Wonder Bread truck, how I call it, and just let them go. Whatever. It's a big fucking truck. That's all that matters. Van, whatever you want to call it. The releases walkers on the courtyard. The driver is ready. He's full of armor, just shooting, and the fight continues. And this might be one of my favorite scenes of the whole series. Is Rick is telling her to go back to the prison. Maggie kills a sniper in the tower. Rick gets back inside. The walkers start spotting this action. They start coming. The shooting attracted. The governor leaves. Herschel is surrounded. Rick can't help him because he's being invaded. He's in a big pickle and he can't really do anything. Glenn shows up. Mr. I'm gonna kill the governor by myself. Shows up and sees it in the distance because of his bad planning. And Michonne is making her way to Herschel with the katana, the awesome katana. Rick is out of bullets, like I stated earlier. Maybe I hadn't, but two walkers are coming. He's kind of, out of ammo. I don't think he had a knife on him, but suddenly see an arrow to the head. Daryl has returned. The Dixon brothers have returned. First time you can really say that. Like I said, all just the coincidence. Everybody shows up at the same time. Glenn comes back after seeing this. The Dixon brother. I always want to call him Daryl. The Dixon brothers show up. Merle kills the other zombie. While Daryl's cleaning up the mess, of course. Glenn and Michonne help Herschel out, and they all drive to the security of the prison, and Axel dies. Good old Axel. Gonna miss him, man. Gonna miss him. Very good one-liners. The lesbian thing it was funny, but it was good. Lou Temple, he's a good actor. I liked how he did with Axel. Definitely did a great job. Gonna miss him and his one-liners. And then after this, you see the group observe what they have, they lost everything they built. They didn't really build it; they kind of took it. But the walkers are in the courtyard. Rick turns to the difference and looks, thinking what happens, and then that they're at war. Pretty much, this is the war. This is how it starts. This is, you could say, the first episode could have been the start of it, but this really is. You're attacking the prison. Rick, he attacked. He was going to attack again. Glenn was, because Glenn is very angry. It wasn't the smartest move. It's actually the dumbest move possible. Actually, going by himself, and then it wasn't smart. But that was it for the episode. Next week there'll be a shorter video. I kind of made this a little bit longer. There's something you can really skip any scenes in this episode. I really thought, I was telling people in forums and real life friends and everything that I expected 9 through 12 to be kind of just season 2, really. I was like, I don't expect the prison attack to be episode 13, 14. I didn't expect it to be the season finale because it's too obvious. They tend to don't do the big things. They tend to not do the big things on the last episode of the season. There's no really cliffhangers. We're not going to lose Woodbury at the end of season 3. It's possible, but I don't think we will. But I didn't think the first invasion would be the last episode of season 3. So, a very eventful episode, fast. I didn't expect them to attack, like I said, I expected them to attack episode 13 or 14. But, very, very surprising episode. Came out of nowhere. I didn't really expect them to attack this early, like I said, 3 or 4 times. It was a very eventful episode. We lost Axel. But them attacking this fast in the season, I really don't have. It really busted a lot of my speculation on what could happen. I speculated that Glenn would become a leader. He kind of did. Will he again? I don't know. I think Rick will be like, "You're dumbass, Glenn." Herschel will be like, "You're dumbass, Glenn." Maggie will be, "You're dumbass, Glenn." So that is it for this review. It was kind of a lackluster one. I'm not gonna lie, because I kind of explained everything in the episode. But I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you next week. I'm going to move on to my speculation part. I usually do this after the review of the episode, so if you're the person that doesn't like watch promos or doesn't really shuts down everything Walking Dead until next week, so that's your time to leave. But now is the speculation part. Episode 11, usually when they do episodes like this, they kind of just they tone it down. They don't do another big hoorah or anything. This was basically, this episode was the conflict escalator. They weren't going to escalate it 2 episodes in a row. Episode 11, Andrea pretty much is going to be at the prison, which is very coincidental after the governor attacks. It's a very, it's just, she's terrible timing pretty much for everything. Will she find out? I don't know when she leaves, before the governor returns or after the governor returns. But I really doubt she's just going to be like, "Oh, I would Woodbury. I'm not going to come back after you're attacked." I firmly believe she'll end up going back to Woodbury. I mean, she's really the connection between both groups. Just for her to jump out of the prison really just doesn't. Now they have the war thing, they really don't need Andrea to be in Woodbury, but offers an interesting conflict. I think we'll see Tyrese's group. They're not just going to bring the group in as a cliffhanger and just be done with them after one episode. Chad Coleman, the guy who plays Tyrese, fun fact, he was coach in Left 4 Dead, and then he was in The Wire. Said he'd only be in 5 of the 8 episodes. You count this episode out, so 4 more episodes he will not appear. I just think this episode will be probably more like an episode 9. Actually, a little bit more tamer. Nothing major. You're just probably there's gonna be more information, circulated. Does Tyra's group end up at Woodbury? I'm pretty sure they would. I mean, where else are they gonna? They're not gonna just throw them in and have 3 stories or settings. So I think they'll end up at Woodbury. Rick's group's probably gonna get stronger than ever. It might sound stupid, but they just lost a loyal guy that they just met. I don't know what the time frame is, but probably a month, maybe. I don't know. But that they just met, and he was a very trustworthy person. I think they're just Rick's gonna win the war, but you just don't know when. At the end of season 3, middle of season 4, end of season 4. It's pretty much. I'm just rambling now, but episode 11 is going to be a tame episode. I don't expect anything major to happen. We'll probably see a cliffhanger type of from episode 9. Not Rick hallucinating, but maybe like Andre decided to stay at the prison or something, or Tyrese ended up at Woodbury. Because I believe Woodbury is probably going to stock up for war, expecting the group to retaliate like they did to get Maggie and Glenn. They attacked twice already. The governor's only attacked once. So I'd expect, big, just a big build-up pretty much. It's just going to be a small build-up episode 12. I don't want to speculate at the part because I already know one thing that happens in episode 12. A lot of people do, but I don't want to ruin it for so many people. But it's a major thing, but it's not major to the Woodbury prison storyline. But yeah, let's just refresh on what speculations of episode 11. Tame episode. We're gonna see Tyrese's group. I think Andre is probably gonna go to prison, and I think she'll decide to go back to the Woodbury because I don't know, she's dumb. And I think Rick's group would probably just have this bonding thing, like we're at war, pretty much. They all understand what's going to happen. Something's got to be done. Decisions got to be made. Merle showed up, too. I think they'll probably just let Merle in because he knows the governor. And Daryl will probably leave. And they need Daryl, pretty much. They lost Axel. Daryl is probably their best shot. Probably, easier Swiss Army knife, pretty much. You could take care of your baby and you could kill walkers. But yeah, that's it for this episode video. It's been like half an hour. But I'll see you next week for episode 11. I don't even know what. Let me look at episodes 11. I don't even know what it is called. I know episode 10 is named Home. I'm not gonna leave this. Can't think of the name. Oh, Google it. What is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. I know what episode 12 is named, but I don't know what episode 11 is named. This is retarded. This is dumb on my part. No, this is like a minute. I'm on the Wikipedia right now. Season 3. I Ain't Judas. That is episode 11. Episode 12 was named Clear. I think, did they change it again? Episode 11 is named I Ain't Judas. I don't know what that means at all. Suicide Kings, I found out what that meant is with the play cards home. I really don't know what that means. There have been rumors that they use it off the Philip Phillips song, but I think that's just trolling. But that is it. This is finally the ending of this review. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you next. Also, another record broken. 12 million viewers for the season 3 season premiere. New record for them. This was on the night of the Grammys. I think it was the Grammys. So they're absolutely killing it, and it's really hard to see a show that just keeps progressing. Each premiere, I should say, they gain about 2 million extra viewers. So season 4 might be 14 million. Who knows? But that is it finally for this review. It's a very long one, probably one of the longer ones. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you next week after the time I've said this. Bye.